Aloha and welcome. This is Diane Vick, and we have another recording for TFT, which is thought field therapy. For those of you that haven't heard my other audios, I have some on EFT and other thought field therapy recordings because the tapping points are dependent on the emotion that you're feeling. That's the difference between EFT, which is emotional freedom technique, which covers all emotions, anything you're feeling, you release it by tapping. TFT, it isolates specific tapping points and the emotions. Today, we're going to be working on phobias. If you want to learn more about that, you can listen to my audio on TFT for anxiety. The tapping points for phobias is actually the same tapping points as anxiety, and it is under the eye, under the arm, and the collarbone. It's suggested that you tap 5 times. The way we're going to do it today is with an actual affirmation. The affirmation is, "My world is divine." And every time I recite that word, you're going to be tapping at the location point for a count of 5 for each time I say the phrase. And we're going to get to a total of 15 taps. So let's begin under the eye. My world is divine. My world is divine. My world is divine. The next point is under your arms. I prefer to start at the collarbone and then move down. So we're going to tap at the collarbone. My world is divine. My world is divine. My world is divine. The final point is on your ribs, lateral ribs, tapping or rubbing those points. My world is divine. My world is divine. My world is divine. Now, before we can move into the eye sequence, you need to know where your stress level is. Where are your phobias and fears? So identifying the phobia and fear that you're working on, you want to get a number from 0 to 10. If the number is above 5, you're going to keep tapping until you bring it down to a 4. Measure your number now and determine if we're going to continue the tapping points. I'm going to repeat the series one more time. And if you feel like you're not getting down to a 4, you want to make sure you repeat this piece before you go on to the eye movements. Again, begin tapping under the eyes. My world is divine. My world is divine. My world is divine. Tap in the collarbone. My world is divine. My world is divine. My world is divine. Under the arms. My world is divine. My world is divine. My world is divine. Now, if your stress level for phobias has gone down to a 4, we're going to move on to tapping the gamut point. The gamut point is at the back of your hand, in between the pinky finger and the ring finger. To identify the spot, I do recommend that you gently rub in between those two bones to find a tender area in between the finger bones that add in your hand, and you'll be tapping on the back of your hand. So I tap with my right hand, which means I am tapping on the left hand at that point. As you find that point, now you're going to begin doing the eye movements. First movement is you close your eyes. Second movement, open your eyes. Then we're going to look up to the center and then down to the left, up to the center and down to the right, up to the center and down to the left, up to the center and down to the right, up to the center and down to the left, up to the center and down to the right. We're doing a series of 3 movements. Now we're going to do circular clockwise movements. First, we're going to go to the left. 1, 2, 3. Now we go the opposite direction to the right. 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to hum the happy birthday song. Now we're going to count out loud. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Count backwards. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Taking a deep, slow breath. Again, measure where you're at. If you're still not down to a 0 or 1, let's repeat the sequence. Close your eyes. Open your eyes. Always tapping on the gamut point. Look up into the center, down to the left, up into the center, down to the right, up into the center, down to the left, up into the center, down to the right, up again, down to the left, up, down to the right. Now 3 circles in one direction, 1, 2, 3. 3 circles in the opposite direction, 1, 2, 3. Hum. Now count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And again. And that completes the sequence. If your stress level is to a 0 or 1, the closing activity is actually moving your eyes slowly from the floor all the way to the ceiling. So in a turtle motion, you go slow all the way up until you're staring up at the center of your forehead, and that concludes the sequence. This is Diane Bick. I hope you enjoyed the session. Be sure to check out EFT sessions as well, or the different emotions for TFT. Have a great day. Aloha.